Oh, dear YouTube viewers, I'm Xnick, streaming again with Magic Duels. I thank you all for viewing and supporting and whatever you are doing with this video. Let's hope it's a nice activity and most important of all, enjoying. And today this is a special deck that is meant to release some frustration. It's not a very powerful deck. Let's go ahead. This deck was conceived under the impression that sometimes you get mana flooded and too many lands can make your games very unbearable. So this is for those times when you have lost too many games in a row because of you having too many lands. So here comes Molten Vortex. So this card basically translates all your lands into shocks. Let's see, shock from the collection. It's a very cheap instant from red. Shocking enough. Shock 1 red. Shock deals 2 damage to target creature or player. And it's a very staple in red decks from the beginning of Magic, I presume. Okay, so Molten Vortex is an enchantment and lets you discard a land card and do the same effect. Here we see what appears to be a rider inside the fire tornado, whatever. So I have to recognize that I was trying to find a high resolution of this image and only find a portion of it on high resolution, but not the full. So we couldn't have a nice thumbnail for YouTube. But anyways, so let's see what's going to do our deck. So this is our main thread in the deck, but we have to support this card. So we have Format Courier. It has haste, can eat some cards from our library, and then we can pay red and discard our hand, and it regurgitates all those cards, but we don't know what those are until the fact. So we have to be careful of not giving this away, unless, well, depending on how the game goes. Renegade Map, an artifact that after the turn after you play can be used to get yourself a hand, but very important, it goes to your hand, so it's ammunition for Molten Vortex. Then Implement of Malice, just for the sake of having a bit of draw and also forcing the opponent to discard a card can become relevant in some instances. So I think this is a good addition for this deck that otherwise is not going to have many tools against powerful spells, but we'll see that we can get some stuff going on later on. Fork in the Road. So with this sorcery for 2, we have the option of getting one card in our hand and other one in the graveyard. The one for the graveyard is optional, so at some times we want to do it and sometimes we don't, but it's very good to have the option. Nissa, just for the sake of giving us the opportunity to find a forest from the library. Also, she is a very valuable target for the opponent, so it's going to act as a decoy. And I don't think we are too interested in this deck. Doesn't really like the flip side of Nissa, but well, we won't complain if she turns. Then Stoic Builder. This is a very nice looking guy up there, and it's a 3 mana creature, 2/3, but has the ability of recovering cards from the graveyard. So we bring back ammunition for the Molten Vortex with this card that we have already spent or discarded for other means. 1 copy of Pilgrim's Eye, a 3 mana. Because this is very easy to cast, it acts both as a chump blocker, a flyer, and also fix our colors, or otherwise gives us ammunition. Then Whitefield Scarecrow, 2 copies of a Defender 1/4 Defender for 3 mana that can be used to get us 2 lands if we pay 2 and sacrifice this one. Cultivator's Caravan, because with all those mana cards going to our graveyard, we might be needing more mana from other cards. Then Pulse of Mirasa, the full 4 copies of this, because our plan is a bit slow, so we need to have a life gain, and also we can recover creatures or lands from the graveyard, and that's exactly what we want to do later. 1 copy of Radiant Flames, very powerful in our deck, but can also kill many of our guys, so just 1 copy. But most of the time we are good with killing our own side of the board. 2 copies of Nissa's Pilgrimage. If we activate Spell Mastery, this gives 1 mana acceleration to the board and 2 to our hand, and that's very good for us. But in the late game this is not so good, so this is best as soon as possible to be used. Then Avaricious Dragon. This forces us to discard our hand, but also is going to give us an additional draw at the beginning of the upkeep, so that's what we want to have here. Lots of draw, lots of lands flowing. Then Mina, and then very cool and not often seen intention of this effect, returning lands to our hand as part of the cost to give a creature trample. It's going to let us cast some lands that are already out. Aligned Charon Network can deal with creatures. It's going to exile every creature with power 5 or greater. So this is a proper tool to deal with very huge cards that if we don't run this sort of cards, then we have to spend too many lands on the Molten Vortex to kill. So this is better in that situations arise. So Chandra, the mana is going to be very useful for us, or the exile also. Since this deck has a ton of ramp going on, we might be doing this from turn 5 onwards, who knows. But if we hit a land, it's basically the same as using the Molten Vortex against face. So, well, and also -3 is very powerful in some situations because we can control the board with the -3. Then Embermaw Helion is going to pump up our Molten Vortex by making it deal an additional point of damage, so it's very good. Gitrod Monster, this is the reason to splash black in the deck, is to have this, because now we have a 5 mana 6/6 Death Touch creature that is going to force us to sacrifice a land during our upkeep, but also lets us play additional lands. Not sure if we want to do it, but also whenever a land goes into the graveyard, we get to draw another card. That's fantastic with the Molten Vortex. Then Green Guardian of Mirasa for graveyard recurrence. So a huge body, too expensive, but I think if the game goes long, we are going to need the Green Guardian of Mirasa recursion with Pulse. Is very nice to make the games last longer. And finally, Ever After, that starts, it's kind of a reset of the graveyard. We bring 2 creatures from the graveyard, strike to the battlefield, and then the Ever After goes to our library. So it's a very powerful effect for us in this deck if we get to cast it. Then 2 swamps, 7 mountains, 8 forests, a couple of dual lands, and just 2 evolving wilds. So let's go and try to see if we can get some victories in the bag. So, mathematically speaking, the idea of defeating the opponent with the Molten Vortex is very slow. We need to activate the Molten Vortex at least 10 times to kill someone with that. And that activation requires 10 mana, of course, having played the Molten Vortex and having found 10 lands. So we need a little bit of help. So most of the time we are going to be controlling with the Molten Vortex. So starting with Chandra is pretty tempting, so let's keep this. Pilgrim's Eye, so we don't have nothing to play on the early turns. But we have the Pilgrim's Eye, follow up with Chandra. Maybe if the opponent doesn't go too aggressive, we might be finding something that we can do during the meantime. Okay, it is very aggressive with this elf. I'm sure it's going to get the bonus next turn with the planes, but well, looks like we don't have nothing to stop this guy. And it might look greedy to delay the stock builder, but playing the Pilgrim's Eye means that we have one less basic card in the deck that we are not going to draw, so it is better to play this. So here it is, we take 2 damage, but that's not the end of the world. Pavilla is a very nice target for Chandra, but we have to protect Chandra for her not to die to the following attack. So let's go with the eye and get as many reds in the battlefield as we can. So let's get a mountain here. So we are planning to spend all our red into using the all other cards to shoot down these guys. Another hit, maybe he taps. Okay, I guess the opponent has another... no. Alright, I think the opponent either has a 2 or 3 drop, or is not finding the mana that he needs, and that's good for us. Okay, so now we have the pools. We play the mountain, the opponent knows that we have. If we go Chandra, a bit risky, but maybe killing Obija is the right play. I think this is too problematic for us. Then we champ block with the eye and maybe save Chandra. We took a high risk by keeping our initial hand, so we have to play very aggressively here. Skip the attacks because Chandra is very powerful if she survives. Okay, 3 lands, so good thing we got rid of Obija before she can start abusing. Oh no, our token is gone, and this is not a token, but it looks like it. And now this guy kills Chandra. Well, at least this is not going to kill the Molten Vortex, so we have that. So another land, not great at this point in time. So we could pulse, but I think it's too early. Let's go with the stock builder just to have a body out. Not great. Now we have too many lands now. And well, we still have a very huge library to search for our Molten Vortex. There are 2 copies there, so 2 out of 48. Opponent finds a forest and is on the way to flipping Nissa. I would bet that the opponent also runs black in a deck like this, but maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm mistaken, but it's very likely the opponent has at least 1 black mana source. So let's see if we can stop that Nissa. Okay. What to do? So I'm playing this for sure. And I think it's going to be a Pilgrim's Eye again. Okay, confirm. So we reduce the chance of drawing another basic land, and therefore we enhance our chances of finding what we need. And it's a bit of it's not the optimal way to use Duels of Mirasa, but at the very least we got rid of one drop. The opponent can have another copy of this. 6 lands. If the opponent has explosive vegetation. Gisela, no. Why you? So life gain is our enemy. Our deck struggles against life gain, and also a mill deck will be our demise. Hallelujah! Okay, this means 6. Alright, let's begin to take care of Nisa with you. And you too. And so are you. Okay, now we don't have red mana open, and if I play the mountain, then our hand is empty. Therefore, I think it's better to keep this one here. And let's see what the opponent has now, because we have removed his most powerful cards already. He has 6 lands now, so Faith Unbroken, it's going to... Okay, this guy gets a pump up. This card exiles some from our side. Our guy! No. And a Crown Jailer. So this guy taps our guy. It's expensive, but he can tap our stuff. So this is very strange, but I'm going to kill it anyways. We don't want creatures or cards in the opponent's hand. That was very odd attack. So we'll field Scarecrow, drop the mountain, and we are leaving this on defense. And let's see what the opponent decides to do, because now we can kill this guy. Let's see if the opponent has another aura. Okay, what are you going to target? Okay, before he decides to destroy something, we are going to take care of this. So get this and this. Confirm. Now he doesn't have many options left for what to destroy. So let's take here and here. So goodbye, Molten Vortex. You did a great job today. We recover our guy, so take this one back. Yes. All right. So Reclamation Sage. All right. There's another Molten Vortex somewhere within these 42 cards. But look at all the things that we removed thanks to that Molten Vortex and other stuff. A Crown Jailer doing this because who cares? Thank you very much. Alright, that could be handy later. Let's attack. Yeah, attacking here. So because the opponent is going to tap this anyways. Alright, now If the opponent would be so kind to drop the Angelic Destiny on this one, it will be very funny. Let's see, Angelic Destiny. Is it going to be it? He has to reveal the aura. Okay, aligned error network. It's going to be legend. Wait for it. So he needs one more mana to be able to cast that one now. Swings for... Okay, this one also attacks. Doesn't matter. Alright, let's see what we draw now. So I would like to kill this one again if possible. It's just a land. Let's leave the lands in hand and wait. We patiently wait. Let's see what the opponent plans to do here. He cannot tap and cast the Angelic Destiny, so that means that he only gets to attack with one of his guys, or he has to spend more cards. Alright, Death Touch, annoying. And what now? You have something else. So in case we get the Pulse of Mirasa, maybe we return the Willfield Scarecrow, so we get all the lands out of the way. We want the lands in hand. Alright. So, and we take 5. That's bad, but not horrible. Okay. Now, the thing about Angelic Destiny is that if the creature dies, then this enchantment returns to the opponent's hand. But instead, ta-da, it goes to the graveyard. Very good. So now that we found Bomat Courier, I don't know. I don't think we are going to be able to attack with this. Let's just move into our next combat phase. I think let's drop just one and hope for the best. Okay, what's next? You have 3 cards, you have 3 creatures. Pious Evangel. This one could flip later. That could be a very bad against us. Collective Effort. This can only destroy the enchantments, right? Yeah. So he's going to give counters to his guys. And well, this is the only one that can safely attack us. And okay, he's offering the trade. Not bad. So since I don't think I'm going to be able to attack with this 1/1, I'm just preventing damage, because also this can tap our defenders. Speaking of the devil. Alright. So very tight spot, I think, but so if the opponent drops creatures, he gains life. So if he has Always Watching, is going to be our end and we lose. Narlut Dryad. He has 3 card types. Let's see, he could tap this, but I don't think he needs to. He can also... Another collective effort. Ouch! Ouch! This is going to hurt. So now we have to block or we lose. So, and this cannot face any of them. And now even if we find Radiant Flames, yeah, this is bad. Okay, it's a loss. Let's just let the opponent deal the finishing blow and move along. It was a nice game anyways. Our Molten Vortex was destroyed by the Reclamation Sage, the worst enemy of the Molten Vortex. Yeah. Alright, but actually our deck would be very, very, very weak against a mill deck. So that's the worst opponent for us. Let's see if we can get some victory going on. So we kept a very greedy hand, I should say, and we paid the consequences of that. And the opponent is running the Reclamation Sage. Reclamation Sage is, I have said this already in some other videos, but it is a sideboard card. But in the Magic Duels, our decks have to run sideboard cards because there is no sideboard. Right, so let's look at this. This looks really promising. Instead of, well, we still don't have early plays, but the combination of the Stock Builder and the Evolving Wilds is very fabulous. Then we have Mina and then opponent with a very original deck with maybe spirits. Let's move on and delay the opening of the Evolving Wilds. So Flyer, is he going for the spirits or for the delirium? What's this? Or maybe just creatures. Auras is also a possibility. Perhaps it's just red, black and white vehicles, and this card is just one drop that helps that deck. Getting ourselves a black card. No, I'm green, of course. I'm going to play the swamp just to fool the opponent. Renegade map is very good. It's because we have to wait one turn, but then this has no mana cost and we get a land back to our hand. Alright, so no card draw activation for SRAM. Thanks. Let's think. The opponent, I think he got a bad mulligan, or maybe not, who knows. So let's do this. So the opponent does not know what we have in hand. And we play the mountain and the Stock Builder that should be able to stop runs from attacking unless the opponent has something. But anyways, if the opponent has something, we want him to use it, right? We need to force the opponent to use his resources. Alright, Sigil of Valor. So maybe this is a tokens deck or an equipment deck. I want to make an equipment deck with SRAM and other cards that have a very large synergy with equipment. But this is only useful if the creature attacks alone. And here it gains a +1 bonus. So if the opponent has SRAM's expertise in hand, this is going to be dramatic. Okay, go Mina. Go Molten Wilds, get ourselves another forest. Ram forest. Alright. Let's see. I don't think the opponent likes to block this guy because Ram has value just by being there. Now if the opponent has vehicles, auras or more equipment, he gets to draw more cards, and that's really powerful if the deck is built around that effect. And maybe later he gets Delirium, we don't know. The Delirium for the Doppelgeist lets the opponent tap one of our boys. So it's a vehicle, it's this guy shooting our boy for 3. The crew cost is 3, and whenever this is attacking, it deals 3 damage to one of our creatures. Let's see if he wants to attack or... okay, he decides to attack. Okay. So we have Pulse of Mirasa is an instant speed life gain. So we have that for us. If he wants to send the Sky Sovereign, he needs to crew. And so far, so if the opponent has Ram's expertise, I think we are going to die very rapidly. But I think here I attack. Let's see what is the opponent's response. I'm going to cast the Pilgrim's Eye, get myself another mountain, and leave mana up for the Pulse of Mirasa. Okay. Let's see how this goes. If the opponent crews, when this attacks deals 3 damage, he can kill the Pilgrim's Eye. I think we can recover that with the Pulse. Okay, Sram's expertise was in... I don't know if he just drew it or he was holding that all the time, but we are on big trouble now. He can crew this and attack with all these. And this is going to transform also. Yeah. Ay. So, of course, finding Radiant Flames would be our best top deck at this moment. So, let's hope it happens. There we go. I don't know why he did not attack with these two. Okay, let's cast this. I guess we want this. It was against the Sovereign's ship. It won't matter. 4, then this. Okay, we now lose a lot of cards. We're not going to get a land here. And hope for the best. If I swing... Nah. We run the risk of losing Mina, and that would be bad. Let's see if the opponent likes to attack with the cult leader or not. Radiant Flames! Radiant Flames! Please, Radiant Flames! No! A haste vehicle! I think we cannot survive this. This down, the Sky Sovereign is going to have first strike. The power of either Revolt and Kaladesh combined is amazing. Alright. I don't know, the only hope that we have is the opponent not going for our throat here. What mistake can he possibly make here? Okay, alright. Of course you don't attack with this. If he sends these two, we die. Yeah. Pings down the eye. Now we can only block two of them. Say that we block these two, then 5, 7, 9, 10, and this is going to be awful. And what if I block here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh boy. Okay, only Radiant Flames can save us now. And even if we have Radiant Flames, we don't have anything else going on. Ta-da! Alright, no Molten Vortex fun today. So let's let's jump into our next game. And no, what solo battle? No, let's go against humans. Humans! The computer, the AI is really bad at playing, always crewing vehicles whenever he can, or whenever it can. Come on, we can win with this deck. It is possible. We just need to have okay, I think we need to have early plays, and this is what we want. This is early plays. 2 1 mana drops and lands to fire up the Molten Vortex. This is the early play. So the other games we started with hands with 3 and up mana plays. I think that's the way you lose. Alright, let's trick the opponent into thinking that we are playing mono red, and the land that we are getting out of that. Do you have a 1 mana counter spell for enchantments? I don't think so. Okay, 5. This represents 10 damage as long as we pay 10 mana, of course, and we have the Molten Vortex out. That's the other requirement. And let's start doing that. Take that. Boom! Eat forest! I hope you like the salads. Alright, so the opponent saw a green mana source. Let's go with this and pass. Now we can shoot 3 times, that's 6 damage out of this. Alright, Harvester is bad, but not horrible. Let's do 1 swamp. And I guess 1 woodland cemetery. No, 1 mountain. Yeah, let's diversify for damage. So if the opponent gets to crew and attack, he gains 3 life back. Oh boy. In order for we to be able to cast this, we shouldn't have thrown away so many lands, but doesn't matter. Let's have hope. We have plenty of mana find cards. I mean land. We need to find land and our mana, not mana. We need lands. Okay. Desert's Touch. Giving this. Okay, cool play. Because now this is a 5/5 creature. That's really cool and can gain lifelink. So a very important card that I was thinking into adding into this deck is Tainted Remedy, another enchantment that prevents our opponents from gaining life. So go with this. Alright, but as long as the opponent doesn't have more energy, we should be okay. And this spells artifact deck. Okay, 6. Why do you have to do it? Now he's going to lifelink 6. And if we somehow kill that artifact, then it returns to the owner's hand. That's a bit pretty annoying. So go Helion. No counterspell here. Go Mountain. Play the Mountain and kill this. Okay, we are at 9 now. That's not pretty. Let's hope we find something. No, murder. Why murder? All our pretty cards going to the graveyard. Come on, give me something that I can play. Come on. This I can play. It's not going to save me, but I can play it. Woohoo! We resurrected 1 zombie Helion. But now we die to this. Just for these 2 cards. Pretty good combo actually. If you want a very sturdy deck, do this, because if your vehicle gets killed, you recover the vehicle. So that's a good idea, good combination. But we are not going to get demoralized. We can win. We had a better starting hand now. That's right, isn't it? So the life link, that's our... If the opponent got 11 life back, 11 points of life back. Sure, let's see. Okay, we have to know that our deck is bad, because otherwise we would be very frustrated here. We got bitter. The idea of the deck is to, for those moments that you are having lots and lots of land screwing and that. So let's keep this, because we have the Renegade map, we have Evolving Wilds, and then we have Wakefield Scarecrow and the Caravan. So let's start. Well, the only thing that we can get punished if we let the Bomat Courier eat our Molten Vortex. Yeah, but I think this is going to put some pressure, and then if we empty our hand, we would like to activate the Bomat Courier. And if we lose it, we lose it. We are not going to ever know what's in there, unless... I think there's an option in the game that lets you see the whole deck when you have a search effect, such as here. Okay, let's see how it should work, but I'm not going to do it. But okay, we attack, deal 1, we take away another card with the Bomat Courier. Alright, then there are 49 cards left. So if I do this, in Paper Magic, you see all your deck, and you get to see what cards are missing, and you know what cards are under the Bomat Courier. Unless you have 2 of them, it should be great. So what are we going to take here? Green before black, because we have Mina, and cast this one. So I guess there's an option somewhere in the settings. It should be there somewhere. Okay, well, it should be there, but we don't get to see it. Oh no! Our pretty Bomat Courier getting... Well, it took 4 damage. That's a nasty way to kill. Okay, let's find a swamp and force the opponent to throw away something, and we get to draw. Or we can Caravan and next turn do Mina. I think this is a bit more aggressive, because our opponent runs 5 colors, and then if he has to discard a land, bingo! Okay, I think it's going to be painful for the opponent to ditch the lands anyways, but this could be a Planeswalker's deck, and those decks take so many lands to take care of. Yeah. Okay. Renegade map. So I think we go with the Caravan. So next turn we maybe cast Mina and the map. And we are going to take a big hit here if the opponent plus 1 Gideon. Seven to the face. No, the token. Well, Yeah, the token needs to block our potential caravan attack, but he also could activate the spires, maybe. Who knows? Okay. So we don't have spell mastery yet. Let's give us a mountain. Play the mountain, and this could ramp us, but we need something that can block there. Or let's go with this. And pass. So this could be the game. This can be done. Let's not lose hope. The opponent, if he gets another land, he's going to play another Prince Walker. Why are you upside down? Okay. We block. We activate this. And we pull a bit of green, because activating Mina takes red and green. So we want to be careful with that. Oh no! No, 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 no. That's the card that we don't want. What are we going to do now? Okay, let's begin with Mina. Then we can play 2 lands. Do I want to play 2 lands? I think I want to play the mountain and the forest, and maybe send. No, but I have to tap her. Then let's get lands flowing here. Let's go with fork in the road. Okay, no thing to the graveyard, because this is a pain. Okay, continue. Oh boy. Our worst enemy. And Chandra, it was going to be our next draw. Swings for 5. Okay. Skip the blocking. Evolving Wilds. Alright. Now the opponent has 5 lands. He can be holding some counterspell. Let's crew here, because now we can play the Scarecrow. Swing. What? What are you going to do? Okay, give the caravan trample. Bring back the forest. So Gideon should take some damage. Geist Blast. 3. Okay, we are losing the carbon. Galvanic Bombardment too. Okay, but still Gideon takes a big hit. And we are playing this. Okay, we can drop a mountain and the Scarecrow and find ourselves 2 more lands. Or drop the map. I think we want 2 lands instead of just 1. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Ouch! Let's see what's going on. Alright, Gideon trying to hit our face again. We block. And we are going... I think we need another black just in case we find ever after. But it's all in... Maybe it's gone in these 2. Or maybe it's already here. All our swamps. Exquisite Firecraft. Against Mina, right? I think I dropped this. You give me 3 lands. What? And you 2. Well, we need 9 lands to finish our opponent. Doesn't look that easy. And we only have 27 cards left, 25. If we could recover the Helion. Come on, this is a race. Spires too? Do it, please do it. Do spires! Boom! So we need... Damn it! No! Ouch! Ouch! Well, at least the opponent is tapped out and we... Okay, let's see, 1 or ever after is there. Green Guardian of Mirasa 2. Not much we can do about this. So we have 10 damage here, but okay. Yeah, 2 and you, and so are you. Okay. Alright, there's not much hope because this is our best, the best opponent that can kill us is this Sphinx Tutelage. 5 cards left, opponent. Favorite Visions, it's over. Well, take here 1. Okay. Have another 1. So note that the Ever After card, if we had this, we could maybe fend off the mill because the spell gets back to our hand. little bit funny card here. We can exile our own monster. Extra land. Okay, let's see what is our next card. Mina and the declaration in stone. Let's shoot the opponent in the face. And all things considered, it was not a bad game. We got really far, but we were hopeless against such a deck. Okay, what time is it? Let's see. Alright, I have to go for today. I don't know if I want to do another video of this deck, but I don't know. Maybe I'm in the mood sometime soon. But today, too many defeats, but still I got a lot of fun out of the deck. So I hope that you too, you have enjoyed, and despite not having won, the games were fun. I don't know. Maybe you have some idea, so the deck can become stronger. These two cards perhaps are too expensive for the plans here. Maybe we can run more Radiant Flames. I want to let you know that I also tried the Girapur grid. What is it called? Let me find it. Right. Okay, Girapur Orrery. This card could be interesting in this deck, but I found that it gives the opponent a very good advantage, so I decided to remove it from the deck. And I'm thinking on decks that can actually use this for very good purposes, not only it's like a "you are my friend too, dear opponent" card. Okay, but that's going to have to wait for another deck, because this is not the place for it. So until our next video, don't forget to leave your comments and opinions, suggestions, whatever you want. Until next time, sayonara.